Mic check, mic check, mic check. How is my audio? Give me a thumbs up in the chat if the audio is fine, if you can hear my voice. I did some adjustments to the gain on the microphone, so my voice should be coming out a little louder. How you guys feeling this morning, you early birds? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Slimy Show. Welcome to the Slimy Show. I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm a night owl. So thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Slimy Show. We're broadcasting live on the Workers' Right 868 platform. Facebook now on the Workers' Right 8688 page for the first time in 6 months. Renison actually got his act together. We're also broadcasting on Twitch for the first time. We're also broadcasting on Twitter, also known as X. We are also broadcasting on the Workers' Right 868 website at workersright868.com on the live stream. So before we get started, let's as we traditionally do, let's get started with a prayer. Now let's bow your heads in silence as we pray.
A reminder of the imperial arrogance that has long treated Caribbean lives as expendable in the name of security. Let us be clear, this is not protection, this is recolonization. Trinidad and Tobago's alignment with US military objectives marks a catastrophic betrayal of the Caribbean consensus that our region must remain a zone of peace. In a single stroke, our leadership has reversed decades of struggle towards regional autonomy, from the Federation dream to the founding principles of CARICOM, by inviting a foreign power with documented history of anti-Black, xenophobic, and extractive aggression into our waters. This government has traded the dignity of the people for the optics of proximity to empire. We must name it for what it is: the sale of sovereignty dressed as diplomacy. What we are witnessing, the invasion of our Caribbean waters, the killing of 32 men on alleged drug boats without due process or evidence, is not justice. It is murder. It is imperial violence dressed up once again in the rhetoric dog whistle of security and war on drugs. Again, let us be clear, this is not about drugs. It is about natural resources. It is about oil. It is about power. The United States, abetted by local collaborators, has long used narratives to justify control over territories rich in natural resources and geostrategic access. Our region has been a pawn in their empire building for centuries. With the apparent complicity now of our own leadership, the cycle continues. To our goodly Prime Minister, I say this: allegiance to empire is not leadership, it is capitulation. It is the mimicry of colonial power masquerading as progress, even as it alienates us from our Caribbean brothers and sisters who continue to insist on peace, independence, and regional self-determination. I write not as a partisan. I have long unsubscribed from our party-led politics, nor do I subscribe to the bankrupt capitalist system that sustains them. I write as a Caribbean socialist, or party-led politics, nor do I subscribe of those who imagined freer, fairer, more humane futures for our people. From Claudia Jones to Una Marsan to CLR James to Morris Bishop to Audre Lorde to Sylvia Winter, may they all walk in power. Their work reminds us that another world was always possible, even when empire insisted otherwise. What we face now is a moral and ideological crisis, not just of governance, but of imagination. It is time to reclaim both. We must begin to dream again, knowing we do not have all the answers, but still willing to painstakingly envision a brave new hybrid, uncolonized way of being, living and thriving outside of the death-riddled machinery of capitalism and militarism that has never served us. Caribbean sovereignty is not for sale. Caribbean lives are not collateral damage. And peace, true peace, must never be bartered for power. I am taking this public stance for my baby girl so that one day when history measures who stood silent and who spoke, there will be record that I did not sit idly by. However small, inconvenient, maybe terrifying or inconsequential it may seem to some, silence in moments such as these is complicity. So I stand here today for my daughter, for our children, for those not yet born. Let this be on record. I am Abeo Aisha Christabel Jackson, 6th generation American from the lineage of Amphi and Bashana Jackson.
Thank you. Oh, come on. Why is it doing that? Okay, that is swing. What's that in the background? All right, welcome guys. Welcome to the Slimy Show. Welcome, 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 welcome. All right, on my mind today, I want to talk about propaganda and fake news. But actually, no. Let's get some topics. So the one of the topics we're going to talk about is fake news and propaganda, and understanding propaganda and putting party love over country. Second story I want to focus on is Citgo, the crown jewel of Venezuela, which has been now stolen. So all right, let's switch this. So I prepared some slides for you. And but before we get started into our presentation, let's highlight what happened in the news yesterday in Trinidad and Tobago. So it looks like Trump is backing down, just like I predicted. Remember I told you guys in what was it, 2 lives ago, the way he acted with North Korea and how he did this in his first go around. Like the United States has one of these techniques they use when they're doing their bartering with countries, is they tend to escalate things, and they escalate right up until the point where there's an explosion, then they pull back. And it seems that's what's been happening with this whole Venezuela United States issue. There are now 16,000 troops deployed in Caribbean waters. What is the purpose of that? The amount of weaponry that's currently in the Caribbean Sea can really do nothing but harass Venezuela and result in multiple deaths for United States soldiers. So Trump, I think this was like a ploy, like a negotiation, like I said, go back to the book that he wrote, The Art of the Deal. He has to hold cards over the heads of Nicolas Maduro if he wants to get into bartering and working out a deal with him. So military assets was a ploy I think he used. So to prove my point, let's listen to this guy Garland Nixon. Big up to Garland Nixon. He's an international journalist, well known. He speaks on global politics, and now that Trinidad and Tobago is on the global stage and Venezuela is right next to us, he actually did a segment on us. So let's listen to this, and I want you to tell me what you think after you hear this.
And we're willing to make our play, that we're willing to make our move politically, and just use the political structures that we have and to try to convince people to vote for us, and hopefully we'll win. These sanctions are hurting us. We don't want the sanctions, even though we're the opposition.
He's speaking about the Venezuelan opposition.
We don't want any war intervention. They were somewhat nationalist, but they were. It'd be like somebody having a party here and saying, "Well, we're not going to win. I'm in fill in the blank. We're in the Green Party, whatever party, right? I'm in the so and so party in the U.S. Now, I just want to try to make a move, and we're going to run our candidate, and we're going to try to win. But we don't want nobody to come and overthrow the United States. No, we're going to operate within the structure that we have, right? Okay. So here's my point. Let's go back to the numbers as I understand them, and I'll put them in based on my experience. And this is an approximation as I see it.
Pay attention to this.
Let's do this. This is the approximation as best I can. I'll say 64% would be Chavistas, Hugo Chavez. They're going to support Maduro. They see Maduro as symbolic of their revolution against the damn gringos.
This is this is what's the word I'm looking for? This is what he's saying right now is contrary to what he said just a week ago, and I actually ended up quoting this guy, right, with the statistics that he's actually about to give you. Last week he said that 35% of the population are Chavistas. There's another 35% that's communist, and then there's like about 25% left of the Venezuelan population that's capitalist, which actually the ones that are actually inviting the United States to invade their country. A very small number of people. And actually now he's changing it up to say that 60 something percent are Chavistas, which is in contrary to what he stated just last week. But anyway, let's continue on and listen to him.
Okay, about 64%. let's just do this. I'm going to give the opposition the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to give them numbers they don't even deserve, but we're speculating, so I'm going to play fast and loose with the numbers and give the opposition as much room as I can. 64% we're going to say Chavistas supporting Maduro. That's why he wins every time. That's why the Chavistas.
Listen to this. Did you hear what he said? 64% of the country are Chavistas. That is why Nicolas Maduro wins every time. And when you look at the election results, it has just about those same figures. He always wins like in the 60-something% range. And I'll show you proof of that later on in the video. I'm not really in the mood to stream tonight. Like I said, this job, if I choose to make this a job, it's very mentally, it's very difficult. It takes a toll on you, especially when you have to report bad news to people every day, especially when you're seeing your countrymen not acting like they're supposed to. And part of that problem is the source of news that you get in Trinidad and Tobago. I listened to a news report tonight on CNC3, and instead of reporting accuracy, CNC3 still goes along with the narrative that the United States is fighting drugs in our waters. The reason why they are blowing up boats and terrorizing fishermen and affecting our economy is because of the war on drugs. This is what they keep telling you. And we all know by now, if you listen to this channel, you're informed, you know that that narrative is not true. The real narrative is the United States is trying to go into Venezuela and gain control of their natural resources. That's what this is about. They don't care if he's a dictator. They don't care if he's if actually Maduro was a drug dealer, he would be best of friends with the United States. Okay? But anyway, let's continue on with the video.
Just say there's another 6% that are the actual Communist Party and their supporters. And those are people who are to the left of Maduro. And they're like, no, you're not going far enough. We are really out for fighting back, and we want to be a full-fledged Communist Party. We don't want socialism. We don't want to use the word. So we are the Communist Party, and they are the hardcore Communist Party, right? We don't want to use the word socialism. We want to say the Communist Party of Venezuela runs things. Okay. So they see him as too far to the right and too friendly with the neoliberals. So you got 64% Chavistas. You got 6% that's to the left of the Chavistas. But if the gringos invade, they're fighting with the Chavistas harder than the Chavistas. You can believe that. So you got another 30%. We're going to give that to the opposition. But what we're seeing of that opposition is, and I'm going to be charitable.
And giving 30% to the opposition in Venezuela is very, very, very charitable. Very.
U.S. puppets. 15% of the opposition is opposed to U.S. intervention. 15% of the opposition is in favor. You see what I'm saying? They consider those the extremists. Let me see if I can find this.
Let me know how my audio is, people. Don't have me talking here for a whole freaking hour and my mic is off.
I think they've got here. Listen to this. Capriles, who says Machado's faction is extremist, told Reuters he is determined to fight for change. Despite being denounced as a sellout by some in the opposition, right? Who said taking part. Listen to this. Capriles, that's the other
opposition member,
right?
Actually, Caprile was actually in the news recently. All right, and I'll bring another story up on about that earlier. The opposition of Venezuela is now criticizing Kamla Persad-Besesa. Oh wait, I'm still in my military outfit. I'm still in my military getup. Trump don't want this smoke. All right. The whole purpose of me in this costume is that I'm supposed to be signifying war to you guys. But since we're not at war anymore, it looks like Trump is backing down. He don't want the Venezuelan smoke because now Maduro has some weapons that could actually sink U.S. battleships. So let's make this transition, ladies and gentlemen. The Slimy Show is now transitioning from our war footing over to a news channel. Yes, I'm like Superman. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Slimy Show. This is our fourth episode, and we intend to be the #1 news reporting channel in the entire Caribbean, not just Trinidad and Tobago, the entire Caribbean. Jamaica, Antigua, St. Kitts, Barbados, all of you guys. I need you to tune in to the Workers' Right platform because all our messages are going to be focused towards the worker and his rights, and how do we navigate in this world, in this capitalist world and system that we exist in. We here at the Workers' Right 868 platform intend to teach you a better way. Okay? We're not about lies, we're not about the propaganda, we're about actually educating and informing the people of Trinidad and Tobago. In the future, we will have interviews with political figures, both in Trinidad and Tobago, Colombia, and the Caribbean. I'm trying to actually get an interview with Gustavo Petro. I guess you guys heard the news that he is looking into sending the Prime Minister of Kamla Persad to the ICC for war crimes. So now you're seeing the Trinidad and Tobago government doing damage control. Now she has her peoples out saying, "Oh, nothing ever happened in Trinidad and Tobago's waters. Everything was all international. It's all his fault. We don't know nothing. We don't know what's going on." All right. Before I get into all the Trinidad Bacchanal, let's get back to focus on this situation that's happening with Venezuela and the game that Trump is playing. And within the United States government, I don't know if this is actually all Trump or if there's there seems to be like some battle in the United States government between the military industrial complex and the actual presidency, because Trump will say one thing and then the military does something else, and it seems like most of the time Trump is like almost having to explain away the actions of the military. So this whole thing that's happening now in Venezuela, it's going to end up being the next Vietnam 2.0 for the United States, and it will lead, and I'm pretty sure Donald Trump knows this, that it will lead to the fall of the United States. And anyway, let's not continue with my assessments. Let's continue on with Garland Nixon, and I'll speak on after he's finished.
Capriles, who says Machado's faction is extremist, told Reuters he's determined to fight for change. Listen to this. Despite being denounced as a sellout by some in the opposition who say taking part in the legislative election rewarded Maduro for clinging to power. What are they saying? The Juan Guaido Machado extremist faction said to Capriles and their faction of the opposition don't even be a part of the election. But Capriles is part of that opposition that I met with that said, we're going to run. Remember, the U.S. said, don't run. Don't run. If you run in the election, you're just giving validation to the election. Don't run. We need to overthrow the government. And that faction of the opposition said, no, we believe that we could.
Welcome, Sarah. I'm not Superman. I'm Super Newsman. Dun dun dun. Oh my God, where's my sound effects? Renison, I told you before. We need to get the sound effects set up. I want to make this. I want to inform you guys, and I want to deliver news with a humorous tone. Like I don't want to be in here depressed and sad and crying every freaking day on the lives. I want to try to do like Jimmy Dore and deliver news in an accurate and funny tone. So let's try to be upbeat today. You know, things are looking bad, but let's look to the future. Okay, and I'll get into the whole Trinidad and Tobago discussion with Penny and Venezuela and all of that stuff later on. But first, let's get through all of this here. I had a hope. My main idea of the show today was propagandists. Right now, we look like clowns on the global stage. Like literally, like the people that actually support everything that the government is doing, and refuse to criticize the actions of their leaders. We look like literal clowns. So, my message to the UNC supporters is great. Your government, you guys are in power. You have achieved what you sought. Right? Your party is now in power. Now it is you as a citizen, as a responsible citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, to make sure that the people you put in charge do the job that you put them there for. Kamala going and being, what's a good word to use, undiplomatic in her words, makes us, it damages us on the world stage. So now she's in some hot water because of her words. And now we see members in her government trying to backpedal and recover. This whole bacchanal that happened to you guys with this where everybody was scrambling to the stores and taking the children out of schools, and when a camera is put in front of your leader's face, she said, "Oh, I didn't know nothing about that. It's all about the social media activists. They're scaring the population. But is that what I'm really doing? Wasn't it?" Oh, and then they said something about the PNM did this. How could the PNM send out a national alert to the police and to the army, and they're not in charge? That is strange to me. Whenever your leader gets in front of a camera, her replies are very embarrassing. But anyway, let's not focus on Trinidad politics just yet. Let's just focus on Venezuela and the assessments that Garland and myself gave in relations to this situation that's happening in Venezuela. I think it was all a fucking game by Trump. Like he's trying to get like a card in the negotiation. But let's talk about the after effects. Like after all of this has happened, after Kamala opened up the legs of Trinidad and Tobago, and the USS Gravely came and deposited something. I have to ask you guys, are we pregnant?
Convince the people of Venezuela to vote for us, and we're going to take part of the democratic process, right? So the Capriles faction
Are we pregnant?
that with are like, look, we just want to try to.
What did that warship leave in Trinidad?
Logically, but that's reasonable, right? So we're seeing now they're saying that fight out. Remember, they said he was denounced as a sellout by some in the opposition who said why? Why was it? Who said taking part in the legislative election rewarded Maduro. Why? Because the United States said to the opposition, don't run anybody, don't take part in the election. And the Capriles people said, no. We're going to run. Don't tell us not to run. We're going to run. We think we can win this thing. Well, they can't. But you got to respect them for saying, we'll run and see if we win. And if we lose, we lose. That's okay. That's democracy, right? So what do we have now? So what are we?
Mina, why am I a fool? Please tell me, why am I foolish? Slimy, haul your stink mother cunt, you big fool. Why am I a stink mother cunt? No, please, because my job to you is to now teach you. So why am I stink? Is this man that I'm presenting to you stink, Mina?
Left with.
Or is it because you think I'm a stink person because you heard from talk shows that I'm a bad guy? Is that it? Well, Mina, my goal to you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago and the Caribbean and South America, is to be a real independent journalist. I wanna start like me, Renison, the Workers' Right Platform. We wanna start like a media, a powerhouse media agency that actually delivers truth to the people, not based on PNM UNC, but based on actual news and actual truth. Maybe I might give a little tinge or opinions once in a while, but if I do, I will let you guys know this. I am not for any party. I am not PNM. I am not UNC. I am Trini. I am a patriot. I would consider myself a true patriot. And unpatriotic people upset me. When I see people being unpatriotic and when they have a platform and they're spreading lies to the people, they're spreading US propaganda. I explained to you guys what propaganda was in my last video. If you don't know what propaganda means, go look it up. The United States is not conducting drug operations outside of our waters. That is not the goal. And when you see, you as a Trinidadian, you're supposed to know this by now. It's not, the U.S. is not sending freaking battleships, aircraft carriers, jamming devices. And I know you guys have actually experienced this in Trinidad. Your cell phones don't work. Why does the United States need jamming devices to interdict drug dealers? All of this weaponry that you see floating around in your waters, that you hear that's floating around in your waters, it's not for drug dealers. It's not to stop the flow of drugs. Okay? Understand this. You as a Trini, you as a right-thinking Trini should understand in your head. It's not about drugs. So when your news agency comes to you and say this is the United States drug war, you should question that. You should have something like going in your head. What is this news agency trying to portray to me? Because I know Venezuela, because I've done my research and I know that Venezuela is not a major trafficking route for drugs in the Caribbean. So why would the United States have an aircraft carrier with F-350 like the one of the most modern jet fighters that the United States possesses? Why would they be blowing up boats, artificial intelligence or not? And that's another thing. Put a pin on that. I think some of these boats that the United States blew up were artificial intelligence. At least 5 of them. Or like there were actual explosives planted inside the boats. Because when I don't know if I'm the one that's doing this, but I made a live what was it a couple days ago, and I said that these boat strikes, they don't look real, because I've seen war strikes in the past. I've seen boats get hit, and usually you will see like a missile coming in, like a missile strike. If like the United States launches a drone strike against a vessel, whether it be a tank or a human or whatever, you actually see the device coming in and then it blowing up. But for the first like 10 sets of videos that the United States were presenting to the people, it was just like boats spontaneously combusting. There were no like inside strikes coming in. But now, the last two strikes, you actually see missiles coming in. But another question that I have is, when you look at these videos, you look at the integrity of the boat, because a missile is very powerful. And I don't think the United States possesses like mini missiles that when they hit a boat, that the boat actually still stays in the water and doesn't like disintegrate into pieces. What we've seen, I think, my opinion, is artificial intelligence. And now and each time they put out a video, the video gets a little better in quality. Like when you analyze the video, you look at is there incoming, or did the boat just spontaneously combust? You look at the structure of the boat. You look at the splashes around the water in the boats. And when you look at this, none of it seems real. Look at the previous videos, and I should play this right now because I actually have the slides. When you look at the water splashes, like when something splashes in the water, it like you will see like a splash of the white stuff, and then it will like dissipate. But in the U.S. Drone strikes, it all seems fake and generated. So this is actually good for Kamala. If all of this was all a ruse and no one actually died in all of this whole thing, it'll be beautiful for Kamala, because now she doesn't have to answer to the ICC for those charges. But if I was a country, if I was Venezuela, if I was Colombia or one of these countries, I would maximize on these images that the United States is putting out. I will hire people. I will do whatever I have to do to claim, hey, foul, the United States is killing my people. But anyway, that's a whole rant of mine. But you guys, I encourage you guys to actually start thinking, and if you think I'm stupid, say it. But go back and look at those videos and look at the quality and how they improved over time. Slimy conspiracy theory, hashtag.
Where 64% of the people are going to fight you. Where the other 6%, even though they're not in favor of Maduro, they're to the left of Maduro, are going to fight you even harder. That's 70% of the country. Where another 15% of the so-called opposition, because you got 30% left, don't want you coming in attacking their country. All you got left is that 15%. And let me tell you about Venezuela. Those people are friggin' armed. People are friggin' armed. They're armed with AK-47s, with machine guns, with stuff. Here's what I believe. The people have said, okay, there'll be a civil war. Well, not exactly.
Not exactly. It'll be a massacre.
15% of the people are selling the country out and calling in for airstrikes and saying, we want to overthrow our government using the U.S. If there is a battle, well, could we call this a civil war? You got 15% of the opposition that's going to sit on the side and say, we ain't in this fight. We don't want this fight. So you got 70% who's ready to fight like hell.
Yep. Understand this.
And 15% who are in favor.
And
of the U.S. intervention.
this is why I question people that actually leave the country. I question the people that actually leave Venezuela. Were they the people that were actually kicked out of their country? You will hear these videos on social media that's going around, like the your news your media people will stick a camera in front of a Venezuelan, or not in this case a Venezuelan. They'll stick a camera in front of a translator to a Venezuelan, and the Venezuelan will be saying, "Oh, I can't go back to my country. If I go back, they'll kill me." Da, 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 da. She might be right. She might be right, but it wouldn't be something from I wouldn't say like it's a government policy, but it'll be like the people, because the people are revolutionary. And if you are if you know that you're fighting for your country, and this man next to you is a traitor, and he's calling in for either invasion or whatever anti-murder or whatever, you would not want to live with that person, and you would make sure that they go away from you. So I think, especially in Trinidad, the stuff we see, the migrants that we see coming into Trinidad are the traitors from Venezuela, the people that Venezuela don't want, the ones who want to call in opposition, who want to call in overthrow of the government and encourage this shit. And I want you guys in Trinidad to pay attention to this. Pay attention to the narrative that the news media is trying to foment in your head. And I want you to learn about the politics that actually exist in Venezuela. Venezuela is a highly socialist country. The people are very educated, and the people are very involved in politics. Not like in Trinidad, where they all lay back and you guys just sit back and watch the government do nonsense to you. In Venezuela, the people are activated, and they're armed. The Chavistas, that is. The opposition is not armed. So pay attention to what Garland Nixon has to say.
The U.S. regime change attack. That's a bit of a lopsided fight. Oh, by the way, the opposition ain't armed.
I'm doing pretty good.
The Maduro people, the Chavistas, are armed to the friggin' teeth. So, if in fact there were a civil war, let's see, let's run this by. Who would win? Who would win in this civil war? Let's try to see if we can figure out who would win. 15% of the country who ain't friggin' armed. 70% of the country who's armed to the damn teeth and ready to fight. I wonder who would win that one in a civil war. I don't know. See, this idea, if you think about it, even American conservatives, people should be able to have our guns, and we should be able to have our guns. Well, the Venezuelan government seems to feel that way too. They're like, yeah, you're right. Here, citizens, you can have not just guns, AK-47s, machine guns. They're arming them for war. Now, I have to always say this. Oh, really? The people hate the government? Why would a government who's hated by the people arm the people? Wouldn't they turn it on the government? Isn't it kind of strange that Maduro's arming these friggin' people to the teeth, and they don't point the gun back at him?
Tell me when you want me to stop.
Isn't that, shall we say, prima facie evidence that it ain't him they hate? That if the gringos come walking around, the guns are going to come around.
What do you want to do is fucking
gringos. They're going to fight on behalf of Maduro.
Oh, shit!
So my point is, we've got a couple of bits of evidence here. We got Trump doing a 180, which, you know, Trump will do a 180 within 5 minutes. He'll say something, and 5 minutes later, he'll say, I didn't say, what? Oh, what did I say? So-and-so is a dictator? Nah, I don't remember saying that. I don't know what you're talking about. So that's Trump. If you're looking for consistency with Trump, you're barking up the wrong tree. So rather than say he's inconsistent, just ride with it and see what it means. See what it says, right? And so, as I said,
how many people watching? Let me see.
Trump could just, before this video's over, attack Venezuela. I don't know. This is speculation.
Got 5
but
viewers,
from a person who's been there,
8 viewers,
who can give you some evidence based on
I can take
actual
it.
what I saw in Venezuela,
8
who I
o'clock in the
talked
morning.
to, and what I dealt with, it seems to me that Trump is doing what in fact, over the last week, I've been kind of saying it won't surprise me if Trump backs down. I don't know if he's going to do this. I'm not sure. It looks like it. Everybody's, what he's going to do? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It's the potential to end his presidency. You want to start
Yep.
a war in your region? You're gonna have. I mean, he's done if he does that. You start a
Done.
war in that region. What happens? Oh, how's it working out? Well, we got millions of people from all over South America showing up at the border. This is their opportunity. Oh boy, we've got unrest in the region. Whoosh, millions at the border. How's Trump going to? And everybody will say, "Oh shit."
Understand this. The United States cannot defeat Venezuela. The United States cannot defeat Venezuela with 16,000 troops and their little aircraft carrier that rust. Oh my! Keep biting my fucking cheek. I'm drunk. I need alcohol to give me courage, guys. So as I'm reporting news to you, I'm doing this intoxicated. See, that's how smart I am. I could actually not lie to you as I'm drunk. Anyway,
Trump, your war did this. We got millions of people at our border, and he won't be able to run from that one, will he? So that would be disastrous for Trump. Body bags coming home, disastrous for Trump. How do you back out of it? Disastrous for Trump. What happens if you're losing the war? Disastrous for Trump. It's like Joe Gibbs with the old Redskins
it doesn't look
used to
good.
say when they're like, "How come you don't operate the quarter of?"
And after all of this, Maduro still holds the upper hand. And what Trump does not want to see is a sunken aircraft carrier. The symbol of ultimate power for the United States is an aircraft carrier. And if Maduro sinks one of those, it is over. It is over for the Trump presidency.
The shotgun. He says, "Well, there's 5 things that can happen, and 4 of them are bad." Right?
Nicolas Maduro is not scared of Trump. Understand this. He is not scared of Trump. Why? Because he's armed to the frickin' teeth and he has the most powerful allies on the planet on his side. The United States is a dying empire fighting for relevance. Okay, so this whole sham, this whole parade was nothing.
Play any odds. You do this, Trump, there's 10 things that could happen, and 9.5 of them are bad. So I think that, here's my guess. I'm going to leave it at this. My guess.
Trump and Maduro are going to make a deal. That's
they
it.
kicked it around. Gabbard presented him with information. Maybe other people presented with the information about what's happening here and what the potentialities are. That maybe there are people in the military, because we've already had this one guy resign, threatening to resign. Yeah, if you do this, I'll go bad. I mean, I'm out of here. Maybe you have people in the administration saying that. J.D. Vance, for all of his being a Palantir puppet, I don't know that J.D. Vance, he hasn't been talking a lot. I don't know that he wants this. I think this is Rubio's baby. I really think this is Rubio's baby.
I think so too.
My guess now is Rubio lost. That's all. Somebody said
It's time to back it up. Time to go home.
Maybe you're right. I don't know. But whoever's making the calls on this one, whoever is, I think they lost. I think they lost. Maybe let's see what happens over the weekend. Let's see what happens if we start seeing ships back away, because they set everything up. They got in the starting. They were all in the starting blocks, ready to run, and all you needed to do was fire the blank gun, and they could take off.
Okay. So what do you guys think? What do you think, guys? Because I'm going to side with Garland. I think the United States is going to go home with his tail between his legs, and we've seen this happening. Because what has progressed since this video was made like 4 or 5 days ago? We had President Trump looking like a weak puppy before the president of China, Xi Jinping, and Trump is now capitulating to China. And since after that meeting with China, we see Trump like pulling out of everything and backing down and changing the way he speaks. So what do you guys think? So now next, the consequences for Trinidad and Tobago with all of these actions because of your weak leader, because your leader did not take a stance, because she chose not to learn global politics. She chose not to learn Donald Trump. So either your prime minister is stupid, or she's bought or compromised. Why would Kamala do this to the country? Huh, guys? The number to call in, 347-791-3311. Welcome to the Slimy Show. Welcome viewers. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I know it's late. Thank you for joining me. If you can't sleep, if you're worried about everything that's happening on outside your waters, I'm here to tell you, stay calm. Stay calm. Right, the same message that Kamala was giving you, even though at the time when she was giving it, she didn't know this was all a ruse. I'm here to tell you to stay calm. That I don't think that Trump is the barking Trump. I don't think he's going to bite. This was all was it a test? I don't know. But anyway, let's listen to the recent news yesterday, and let's talk about it.
United States President Donald Trump is tonight shooting down concerns of any war with Venezuela, but he warns that Nicolas Maduro's days in office are numbered.
And the Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar is reaffirming Trinidad and Tobago's commitment to regional anti-drug operations led by the United States.
As we hear in
this is what I keep telling you. Why does your media keep saying this is an anti-drug operation, and they know it is not an anti-drug operation? Why do they keep pushing this narrative? The people of Trinidad and Tobago are smarter than this by now. You should know this by now. So anyone you hear coming to you and saying the United States is in your water to fight drugs, you should question them. You should question their motives. So why is the media of Trinidad reporting to you that this is an anti-drug operation instead of regime change? Why is it so hard for them to say the truth?
By Jesse Ramdale,
or is it because this is CNC 3?
South American neighbor.
U.S. President Donald Trump believes Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro's days are numbered, signaling in a recent interview continued pressure from Washington on the Maduro administration against narco-trafficking.
Are Maduro's days as president numbered?
I would say, yeah. I think so, yeah.
And this issue of potential land strikes in Venezuela, is that true?
I don't tell you that. I mean, I'm not saying it's true or untrue, but I wouldn't.
Why would
I
we
wouldn't
do
be
it?
inclined to say that I would do that, but because I don't talk to a reporter about whether or not I'm going to strike.
Trump was asked directly whether or not the U.S. was going to war with Venezuela as the presence of
since he made that video, the statements he made are like the opposite. This is like a bad video that they're reporting. So, like again, why is the Trinidad and Tobago media reporting this stuff to you? Why are they putting in the words that they when because I studied media. I went to school for this stuff, right? When you go before the editor is the one who has the final say in what words that they use, and whoever is overseeing this chooses to present this information to the people. Why are they doing that? Why are they trying to dumb down the population? Why are they trying to paint this that like Maduro is our enemy?
Add anxiety in the Caribbean.
Are we going to war against Venezuela?
I doubt it. I don't think so, but they've been treating us very badly, not only on drugs. They've dumped hundreds of thousands of people into our country that we didn't want. People from prisons, they emptied their prisons into our country.
Responding to questions about President Trump's position, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar said her government will continue to support the U.S. military drug interdiction exercises within the region. Persad-Bissessar also dismissed speculation and panic that erupted on Friday amid online rumors of possible military action affecting Trinidad and Tobago, accusing political opponents and social media actors of fueling unnecessary fear. She said there have been no...
Wait. Let's go back. Let's read that statement Let's read the statement that your Prime Minister issued. There have been failed efforts by some persons and organizations to create chaos and hysteria among the population regarding relations between Venezuela and Trinidad and Tobago. The PNM, their trolls, and some in the media are trying to gaslight the population about war and attacks against Trinidad in the hope that myself or the government will respond to every rumor. Who is in charge of the police and the army in Trinidad? Is that PNM? And you guys take these statements and suck it up like you freaking sheep, like you freaking stupid, you supporters. Instead of questioning.
Actors of fueling unnecessary fear. She said there have been no military strikes within our territorial waters and there have been no requests from the U.S. military to use our territory for any strikes against drug cartels inside of Venezuela or in international waters. Asked whether U.S. kinetic operations have affected illegal drug trafficking, Persad-Bissessar said there are clear signs as the prices of marijuana and cocaine have climbed. The Prime Minister...
So if you smoke weed... So if you smoke weed in Trinidad, you should be real vexed right now. Is this what you voted for? Did you vote for higher weed prices? If you do coke, if you partake in that, did you vote for that? Did you vote? So your cigarettes and your alcohol will be now double the price? Trinidad and Tobago, how are you feeling?
The minister reiterated that the government continues to monitor the situation closely and will keep citizens informed of any credible threat.
If I was in Trinidad, I'll be real vexed. Because I smoke weed.
Member Jose Brito has sided with Nicolas Maduro's administration,
Listen to this.
Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar for supporting U.S. military activity in
Listen
the
to this.
Caribbean.
How embarrassing.
Accused of endorsing violence and ignoring Caribbean lives, calling TNT's alignment with Washington disloyal. He claimed the country is being used as a base for hostile operations and warned that foreign intervention supporters will be rejected.
Concerns are growing along Toco's coastline, where fishermen say the fear of a lingering U.S. military presence is keeping them closer to shore and away from their livelihoods. With no clear word from authorities, some residents are bracing for the worst, worried that the economic ripple effects could soon hit home. Shane Superville has more in this report.
Days after the USS Gravely left TNT shores, there are concerns that the U.S. military presence may not be far away, as counter-drug trafficking operations appear to be far from over. On Sunday, Reuters International reported that 2 U.S. military vessels were somewhere in the waters immediately around Trinidad and Tobago as part of ongoing military operations against suspected drug runners. CNC3 News spoke with Salibia fishermen who said they received a warning from police not to venture too far out to sea. But according to some of their fellow boaters, the danger around the...
Why? What is the real reason for this? I have questions. Everything that is reported in this, or especially on this station, I have questions. Why was this alert now sent out to the fishermen?
Was
the real reason.
Also, the rumor they say a military boat had bought a border boat across outside the rig. It's about 29 miles offshore. and ransack the boat and just jump back in the boat and gone.
He said while he could not verify whether such an incident happened, another lifelong boater, Roger Maraj, says he was unaware of any such activities.
No, I don't really see anything because we are on the east side here now. You understand? We are on the east side, me see nothing like that.
But Toko businessman Kerry Arthur says while nobody wants to panic, in the absence of any clear messaging from the government, many Toko residents can only prepare in their own way and hope for the best.
From the government, we're not really getting any direct information, but we're just reading how things happening. With the alert last week, it wouldn't be wise to just hear something like that happening and not prepare yourself or not do anything about it.
Arthur also says while a slowdown in fishing activities hasn't been directly felt, a lack of revenue from fisherfolk will have a direct impact on the microeconomies of seaside communities like Toko. Fishermen who rely on the open sea for their livelihood are scanning the waters, not just for fish, but for any signs of a U.S. military presence which can potentially exacerbate regional tensions right on our doorstep. And while there hasn't been any official confirmation as to whether or not there really is a U.S. Navy vessel off the coast of Toko, communities on this quiet coastline are still uneasy, as they say they can only respond to emergencies if and when it happens. And while the rumors are unverified, the anxiety felt is still very much real. Shane Superville, CNC3 News.
Okay, if you're a fisherman, let me tell you guys about a new feature on the Workers' Right website. We now have a feature where if you want, because one of the stories I reported to you was because of a tip that I received. If you have any tips for the Workers' Right platforms, you can now go to www.868.com/tips, and any message you want to give us in secret, you can either do it anonymously or you can send us your name. We are accepting tips. So let's demonstrate that. Let me show you guys the website. The new Workers' Right website platform. Here we go. So this is the website. Well, it's not showing it properly, man. This is the live stream. So if we're ever down, we will be actually popping up. This is the live stream. If we're ever down on YouTube, we will be popping up a backup stream on the Workers' Right Live website. And I know if this is actually from YouTube, so we have another system set up with an encoder where if we ever cut off, we could literally stream directly from the website platform. There's also the video library, past videos we've done on the library. The contact us page is now up and running, guys. So any messages you want to send to the Workers' Right platform, you go to workersright868.com/contact. And there's also the tips function. So here it is, spill the tea with Workers' Right 868 Live. So any messages you want to send to us, use this function on the website. So if you have any stories, let's say you're an insider and you want to report a tip to us, do it here anonymously. Right, so the contact us and the tip function is now working. Big things are coming, guys. Big things are coming. Like I said, we intend to report truth to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And we have other plans for you guys. But just stay tuned. All right, let's get back to the presentation. A story. This story here came to me as I was browsing X. This story came up to me, and after I saw it, I decided to do a presentation on it for you. Here we go. It's in Spanish.
Revés judicial para Juan Guaidó, tribunales de EEUUU. Niegan la venta de la refinería Citgo. dictaminando que la directiva designada por Guaidó no tiene la legitimidad para representar a la empresa. Un nuevo golpe que pone en tela de juicio el control de activos venezolanos en el exterior.
Okay. So basically what's happening
Revés judicial
is this post is saying Juan Guaido has legitimacy for the sale of Citgo. And there are some court proceedings that are happening right now where the United States is actually trying to steal Citgo from Venezuela. Citgo valued at $11 billion. $11 billion. The United States is trying to steal from the company. So I did some research into what is happening at Citgo, and I want to report to you on this. So I went over to Grok and asked why was Citgo sold. So here's where it stands. Citgo Petroleum Corp. Venezuela crown jewel valued at 11 to 13 billion with 800,000 BPD refining capacity has not yet been sold, but it's actually in the process. It's the subject of a multi-year U.S. court-ordered auction of its parent company PDV Holding in PDVSA, I guess, to pay creditors. The process is in limbo due to ongoing disputes with no final buyer approved. Below I'll break down why this is happening, the root causes, and how the legal mechanism based on the 8-year saga. Why Venezuela defaults, expropriations, and U.S. geopolitics. The auction stems from Venezuela's economic collapse under President Hugo Chavez and Nicolas Maduro, exacerbated by U.S. sanctions and the recognition of opposition leader Juan Guaido. This is what the AI is actually still freaking reporting. You have to notice when the artificial intelligence is actually programmed by imperialists, so the results it will give you would be more on a side towards them. All right. So here we go with debt defaults and expropriation. So because of U.S. sanctions, Venezuela defaulted on $150 billion in foreign debt. So creditors, people who loaned Venezuela money, actually started making claims against Venezuela. Their total claims from 18 creditors totaled to $21.3 billion from 18 creditors, which was far exceeding Citgo's value. Right? So after the United States put sanctions on Venezuela, now Venezuela cannot pay its debts because of that said sanction. Right? Look at the robbery here that's taking place. So now Venezuela can't pay its bills. Venezuela defaults on its debts, and now it has to go to court. And in the court proceedings, this is where Mr. Juan Guaido comes in. Mr. Juan Guaido, and look at the fucking robbery. Look at this robbery that is taking place. Juan Guaido signed. They remember they made him the fake president of Venezuela for a little while, the president that your leader supported, Kamala. It seems like whenever you mention Kamala and Venezuela, she's always on the side of overthrowing Maduro, isn't it? Oh my God. So back to the main thing. So Juan Guaido came onto the scene, and acting on behalf of the people of Venezuela, because he's a so-called president, he signed away Citgo. He basically sold Citgo to cover these outstanding debts that the Venezuelan government now owes to these creditors. Look at the robbery that is taking place. So the United States did some highway robbery on Venezuela. And so this is another thing that happened here also. Post 2017, sanctions froze Venezuelan assets. That's another lump sum of money that the United States stole from Venezuela, because Venezuela had some tons of gold stored over in the United States. The United States just took that. In 2019, the Trump administration recognized Guaido as interim president, granting his appointees control of Citgo's board. You hear that? So now that this is another thing I want to point out to you, how critical boards are to corporations, right? When you appoint board members in your favor, the board members do what you want them to do, right? So when you see this UNC government going around appointing board members to critical agencies in Trinidad and Tobago, you should have some serious questions, especially when these people being appointed to these boards are seriously unqualified. So I'm digressing again. So let's go back to this. U.S. sanctions on politics. Post 2017, sanctions froze Venezuelan assets. In 2019, the Trump administration recognized Guaido as interim president, granting his appointees control of Citgo's board. This blocked Maduro's government from defending its assets, treating PDVSA as liable for the republic's debts. Critics, including Venezuela, call it theft. But United States courts view it as enforcing valid claims. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? The United States froze Venezuela's ability to pay bills. Then, because Venezuela couldn't pay bills, it took its assets that it had in the United States to pay those said bills. Highway robbery. And this is what the United States did to Venezuela. And another thing Venezuela did, no repayment path. Sanctions prevented cash payments, so creditors targeted Citgo, right, because that's an asset in the United States, as the most liquid asset. Venezuela calls it judicial plunder, but the United States prioritizes creditor rights and anti-Maduro pressure. So this is something when Chavez came into the presidency. Remember, I reported this to you guys. Chavez just took his stuff away from these guys, like the oil refineries, the gold refineries. Like they had a gold mine. Venezuela just went in there and took it, and didn't pay, like what Trinidad did with our oil refinery. We actually had to pay like suckers to get our refinery back. Venezuela went in there and took their stuff. So their gold mines was taken from Crystal X. They nationalized it, and ConocoPhillips. So all of the oil rigs that and oil infrastructure that ConocoPhillips had built up in Venezuela, Venezuela just took that shit and said, hey, this shit is mine. So these guys went to court and sued. Glass factory nationalization. Wow, this is so cool. So the Chavez went in there, took their stuff back, and they were sued and sanctioned by the United States. So this story, Guaido has no legitimacy for the sale of Citgo. As I came across this tonight, I decided that I should give you guys like a presentation on the actual truth of some of the stuff that actually happened within Venezuela and what the United States did to Venezuela to cripple the country and their people. All right. Look at this traitorous. Oh, I should have been. Actually, as I was talking, I should have had this bastard up. This, ladies and gentlemen, according to Kamala Prasad Besessa, is the rightful president of Venezuela. Mr. Juan Guaido, president of Venezuela. He is now a professor at a Miami university. He still walks around in public, but for some reason he's now no longer the president. After he sold away Venezuela assets and got paid a handsome fee, this man is now running free. Mr. Juan Guaido. So when you hear social media people coming and talking good about this man, you look at this man as a thief, as a bandido, a criminal, and anyone that supports this man is a criminal, or senile, or stupid. I don't know. This next up is the president of Venezuela being greeted by his people as he went out to have a dinner in Juan Guaido, ladies and gentlemen. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the president of Venezuela that your leader, Kamala Prasad Besessa, supported. Anybody in the chat, to anybody in the chat, I don't speak Spanish. Anybody knows what Mama Guaibo means? What does Mama Guaibo means? Anybody in the chat listening to the chat, what is this guy shouting? He keeps saying Mama Guaibo, Mama Guaibo, Mama Guaibo. What is that? Is that a song? I don't know. Hablo español. No comprendo. What are you saying? Miss Arima, this is what I need. I need your Spanish speaking ability. I don't know if you're in the chat or not, but I want you to put this on your to-do list, Trinidad and Tobago. I want you to Google for me, what does Mama Guaibo mean? And why are the people of Venezuela saying Mama Guaibo to their president? Who is screaming like that? Mama Guaibo! Mama Guaibo! The president of Venezuela. So you Trinis out there, right? This man went and sold off the assets of Venezuela to the United States for pennies on the frickin' dollar. So now, wake up, Trinidad and Tobago. Pay attention to all of these new board members that are being assigned to positions throughout Trinidad and Tobago. And now that you know what board members can do, I want you to question, why is this UNC government changing board members that are subservient to them instead of actually being qualified for the positions? Like, let's say, I don't know, let's say you want to appoint a board member for someone in the in TTT. That board member should have qualifications, right? Like, I don't know, maybe they built a studio, they have a media personality, they contributed in some way, form or fashion to the media industry of Trinidad. That's why you would want someone that experienced in that position, right? But what is happening in Trinidad? So you see what happened with Venezuela. When someone against the people, this is a good slide to show you. So you see what happened in Venezuela. When you have someone who goes against the people, the power they can actually do when they have control of their boards. You learning yet, Trinidad and Tobago? Here's a post that I want to highlight off of X. Mama Guimo does not mean mother cunt. No, it means suck my dick. Anyway, Nicolas Maduro is the representative of the people of America. Listen to this. This is a post on X that I wanted to highlight for you guys. Nicolas Maduro is the representative of the peoples of America, a man of peace who is liberating the peoples of the continent. Venezuela is strengthening more and more every day. That is true, and everyone knows this. This is true. Here there is no turning back. Long live the love for the homeland, diplomacy, peace, and dignity. Viva Venezuela! Viva Maduro! Viva Venezuela! Viva Maduro! Anyone who comes to you that is against Nicolas Maduro, you look at them as a traitor. Speaking of traitors to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, that is my most... Alright, I'm being told to stop yelling. I have alcohol in my system, I have Henny in my system, I want to fight. You want to fight me, baby? Alright, I'm being told to stop yelling. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and she's trying to go to sleep. So I need to hush my mouth. Now I forgot what I was saying. I think my she's let me think of something snappy to say. She's media host blocking. Alright, I'll stop yelling. Alright, let's get into the meat of the program. I would like to speak to you guys today about traitors. And the only reason I am highlighting this person because I went into his chat yesterday and I was silenced. And you guys know how Slimy feels about being silenced. If you see Slimy in your chat and you'll try to play these games with me, I will make sure to highlight you on my program. So today we talk about traitors to the country of Trinidad and Tobago. I have so many slides, I need to organize this better. When do you want me to get off, honey? Let's talk about traitors. Now we're gonna start heading into the main section of the program. After this I'll wrap it up because it is 4 o'clock in the morning and I'm being yelled at. So 2025, The topic is traitors. You have Maria Corina Machado, the Nobel Peace Prize winner, who by the way is banned from Venezuela. She got kicked out of the country, and she's on the world stage stirring up all this mess for Maduro to clean up. She cannot. This lady here actually is a persona non grata in Venezuela. She cannot set foot back into the country. So, 2025 Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado is now saying Hamas is in Venezuela as an argument for U.S. invasion. So when you see, oh my God, I don't have this transition up. That's why I need an interactive chat. Andy Williams. Welcome, Andy. Andy, welcome. Wendell, I'm about to talk to you in a little while. Hang on there. We're talking about traitors to Trinidad and Tobago. And funny how we say that as soon as we mention traitors, Andy Williams just pops up in the chat. I don't know if this is the real Andy Williams or if it's the Andy Williams Mr. Pitbull. But let's have a conversation. I am man enough to handle you mano y mano, and you know what, Andy? You will never get blocked in this chat because I'm more man than you. You hear me, Andy? I am Slimy, this little Slimy, the name that you people gave me. I used to be Raul Glasgow. You gave me this name. So now I'm here to terrorize you. So welcome, Andy. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the welcome to the Workers' Right 868 chat. We're about to get into our main presentation on traitors to Trinidad and Tobago. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's speak about misinformation and people that in your country that delivers misinformation to you. Let's go.
We are aligning ourselves, and we should align ourselves with the United States of America. Now, while I am saying that right here in Trinidad and Tobago, that I 100%
Start over. In case you didn't hear this nonsense at the start.
We are aligning ourselves, and we should align ourselves with the United States of America. Now, while I am saying that right here in Trinidad and Tobago, that I 100% support Kamala Persad-Bissessar, and I support Kamala Persad-Bissessar's aligning Trinidad or putting Trinidad and Tobago in a strategic place with the United States. Persons across in Venezuela technically saying the same thing. And as I said, who feels it, knows it. The people of Venezuela who are actually feeling it knows the reality.
Listen to this nonsense.
In Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro is a dictator. That man there, he is a dictator. And I will say it loud and clear.
Look at this image that they're presenting. I want to show you this right here. Look at this. These evil, nasty people. Come on, Slide. Do work. Do your work. Notice that as soon as he said dictator, he pulled up a image of Nicolas Maduro with a cutlass. That video is actually from a clip where Mr. Maduro was actually doing some agricultural presentation to the people. So pay attention to this political kobo, right? Andy, I'll get to you in a minute. You don't know what you said. I know everything that I'm saying because I actually, unlike you, study. And Andy, you know better. You know better, Andy. You're not a stupid man. You're a smart man. One thing I would say about you, Andy, is you're not stupid like Lennox. Lennox, you could say he's an old man, and maybe he don't know the stuff that he's talking about. Maybe he's going on information that he learned when he was a child. That Venezuela is a bad this and all this nonsense that he spews to you people. Lennox, I could get away. I could let slide. But you, Andy, you know better. because me and you used to chat personally, and I used to send you all of this global politics stuff. I used to send you on a daily basis, so you should be up to date. You know you're up to date with everything, and you know better, but you still choosing to lie to the people. You piece of shit. What's that, baby?
America. Now,
Hang on.
while we are
Almost done.
I am saying that right here in Trinidad and Tobago that I 100% support Kamala Persad-Bissessar, and I support Kamala Persad-Bissessar's aligning Trinidad or putting Trinidad and Tobago in a...
Don't worry about the 6 people. Like I said, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. The 6 patriots are up watching me at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we're learning about Andy Williams and this guy here. What is this guy's name? Kobo, the political Kobo. We're learning about you.
The United States. Persons are crossing Venezuela.
Your own words are what is going to sink you. And you know why your viewers are dropping, Andy? Because as yours drop, mine will rise. Because I am telling truth to the people. I am not just delivering propaganda. And you caused this because you're such a weak man. You like to block people. You caused this onto yourself. So now your words are going to be used against you. I'm going to make a clown of you.
People of Venezuela who are actually feeling it knows the reality that they are facing in Venezuela. Nicolas Maduro is a dictator. That man there, he is a dictator. And I will say it loud and clear.
Give me half an hour, baby.
Anytime. That man is a dictator. And we all know, come back, we all know that in 2024, for the Venezuelan election, people can say it was not a fair and free election.
Lie!
They stole it.
Lie!
That is the man that person's aligning with and want to align with here in Trinidad and Tobago.
Lie!
We want to say we want peace, while dictatorship going on just 7 miles off our coastline. Imagine that. We stand up in Cedros.
This is the nonsense. This is the misinformation that you people would actually listen to, and you would think this man is a journalist and he's reporting honestly to you. He is not.
In Venezuela, right there, next door to us, we have a dictator on our shores. We had one right here in Trinidad, but thank God we voted them out. We took pattern from Tobago because Tobago voted out the PNM first, right? And then Trinidad did. But what's going on in Venezuela affects us. And to be clear, I'm only mentioning it simply because apparently people they don't know about it. But I frankly do not care at all. I really don't. What I care about is Trinidad and Tobago. And what Kamala Persad-Bissessar cares about is Trinidad and Tobago.
Does Kamala Persad-Bissessar care about Trinidad and Tobago?
How many times we have to...
Does Kamala Persad-Bissessar care about Trinidad and Tobago? Ah? Does Kamala Persad-Bissessar care about Trinidad and Tobago? After Venezuela just licked these sanctions on us, what did Kamala Persad-Bissessar say? She said, oh, it doesn't affect me in my life. It doesn't prevent her from getting new saris. It doesn't affect her. But what maybe she doesn't understand is she is the leader, she is the representative, she is the top salesman of Trinidad and Tobago. Listen to this clown.
Stick in the brains of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and particularly the opposition as well. But Kamala Persad-Bissessar is saying that we're not really, we don't, in Trinity terms, we not business what's going on across it. I know we business. Kamala is drinking her water and minding her own
She's
business.
drinking her rum.
And the business that she's minding.
Her now expensive rum that she don't got to pay for, that you pay for.
In doing so, what Kamala Persad-Bissessar is saying is that the drugs that come in from Venezuela, the guns that come in from Venezuela, the illicit trade that goes on between Trinidad and Venezuela, we need to stop it.
What illicit trade is this man talking about? Didn't the Trinidad and Tobago government signed some kind of agreement with the Venezuelan government regarding this so-called illicit trade that this man is talking about, that this political kobo is talking about? I don't want to use too much inflammatory language. Huh? Because I remember hearing something somewhere that the Trinidad and Tobago government, because of the commerce that happens between the two borders, with these two, with the boats and all this stuff, didn't Trinidad and Tobago sign an agreement with Venezuela where that could happen? So why is this being now labeled as illicit by this dunce that has a platform? Andy, I'll get to you in a minute. Just hold strain, boy. Give me like half an hour. I'm coming to you.
Is by engaging with our partners, the United States, for assistance. That is why the warship came to Trinidad and Tobago, but not even to declare war on anybody. That ship was here to give children...
To build schools. You hear that? The ship was there to build schools earlier. And this is the message this man is paid to push out to you.
Joint actions with the U.S. military and Trinidad military. And don't think for 1 second that it is Kamala Prasad-Bissessar that allowed it. It's Keith Rowley, 2024. He signed off. U.S. could put troops in Trinidad and Tobago. What if X4? But, as I was saying, who feels it, knows it, Trinidad and Tobago. A Venezuelan woman would have spoken out on this matter, and
that is what we're going to highlight next. So we're going to get into traitors of the country of Venezuela and traitors of the country of Trinidad and Tobago. So with everything you know about Venezuela that I've taught you in the past few lives that I've been on, I want you to listen to this person. This one right here. Pay attention to her words and how she's inviting destruction onto her country. Kind of like UNC supporters, right? What is it with them?
Plus Maduro said that
with these kind of people.
Is on the
I gotta pee. Hold on 1 second.
History. Well,
I'll be right back.
She's basically starting a war in the Caribbean, and that is far-fetched for me to even think about. But again, a Venezuelan would have spoken out on this matter, and I think it is reminiscent of me to play what they are saying across there in Venezuela. And those that are really censored or not given a chance to hear their views. And just so therefore you know as well, Trinidad and Tobago, persons that speak out against Nicolas Maduro, they are jailed for speaking out against him in Venezuela. But that's not my words. This lady said it.
I want to talk about what's happening in Venezuela and give some context from an actual Venezuelan. Maduro, bad. Trump, bad. Getting rid of Maduro, good. An American intervention into Venezuela, bad. Now you're going to see a lot of Venezuelans who seem to be in support of this American intervention, not because we're naive or because we don't understand what it could mean. Nobody wants to be bombed by the Yanks, okay? But that should give you an idea as just how desperate Venezuelans are. Maduro is not the legal president of Venezuela. He lost the 2024 election to Edmundo Gonzalez. That is an indisputable fact. But this isn't so much about the nitty-gritty of the politics as much as it is about the effects of those politics on the people. Imagine this. You wake up, there's no water, as usual. The lights have been out for about 10 hours. Your fridge starts to smell because the power keeps going out. So you're like, okay, I'm going to go out and buy some new food. You get there and the food is even more expensive than it was before. Food has gone up 21.9% in price since just last October. Actually, food prices have gone up 12,000% since 2009. So that's like a tomato being worth $1. Now that same tomato is worth $12,000. That's how crazy the food situation is in Venezuela. These rolling blackouts too that I mentioned have a huge effect on the hospital systems. Often you will be in the middle of surgery and the electricity goes off. So you have a country where you have very little access to food, and we know little access to food usually means a huge increase in crime. that has happened in Venezuela. You have a dangerous country. You don't have access to food, water, electricity, and your hospital systems have been terrible. On top of these brutal living conditions, you have this political violence hovering on top of you. If you speak out about what's happening, you are very likely to be disappeared into El Helicoide, which is the largest torture center in the Americas. In July of 2024 came Operation Tuntun. So basically the government would come knocking on your door if you made any posts that were against the government. And if your neighbors outed you for being out protesting, you would be likely to be kidnapped and sent to this torture center. In just the month of July 2024, 1,900 political prisoners were taken. Those numbers have gone up to over 3,000, most of those being youth and most of those being underage girls. Since 2014, there has been 17,888 politically motivated arrests in Venezuela. More than 8 million Venezuelans have fled the country. Our families are scattered across the world because we can't safely live home. And back in Venezuela, the regime allows mining that is tearing apart the Orinoco Delta, poisoning rivers with mercury and displacing indigenous people, allowing miners to go into...
All right, you listening to all these lies from this traitor to the whole country that this man is presenting to you? Let's go over. I want to actually go over her lies one by one. Let's start out here.
Out for about 10 hours. Your fridge starts to smell because the power keeps going out.
All right.
So you're like, okay,
the power keeps going out because the CIA keeps attacking power plants in Venezuela. Right? That's one. In addition to when all of this stuff first started with the sanctions against Venezuela, they had problems getting energy into the country because of the sanctions, where all trade with the country was stopped. Right, so that's when they had these roving power outages, and then you had the CIA conducting operations in country where they was blowing up like oil supply depots. They were blowing up electrical plants and all of this nonsense. So this lady here is from the 15% side of the opposition that Garland Nixon spoke about, that is actually inviting U.S. invasion into her country, a traitor to her country. And this is what this Trinidadian presenter chooses to present to the people of Trinidad and Tobago in order to educate them, right? But how is he educating you when this is the kind of nonsense that he chooses to play for you?
food is even more expensive than it was before. Food has gone up 21.9% in price since just last October. Actually, food prices have gone up 12,000% since 2009. So that's like a tomato.
So she's mixing lies and truth, lies and truth, lies and truth. All of that stuff. Venezuela is 99% food sufficient, where they no longer have a food import bill. They get food in country. So food prices in Venezuela are actually very, very cheap. Very, very cheap. So don't, while you may have had those price spikes at the beginning when the sanctions were first instituted, that doesn't exist today. It does not.
Tomato being worth $1, now that same tomato
Lies.
is worth $12,000.
Lies.
That's how crazy the food situation is in Venezuela.
Lies.
These rolling blackouts too that I mentioned have a huge effect on the hospital systems. Often you will be in the middle of surgery and the electricity goes off.
So then tell the CIA to stop bombing your hospitals. I'm not hospitals, but stop bombing your electrical plants or electrical infrastructure.
Country where you have very little access to food.
Traitor to her country.
Little access to food.
And this man chooses to show this, to present this to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
You have a dangerous country. You don't have access to food, water, electricity, and your hospital systems have...
Lies.
On top of these brutal living conditions, you have this political violence hovering on top of you. If you speak out about what's happening, you are very likely to be disappeared into El Helicoide, which is the largest torture center in the Americas. In July of 2024 came Operation Tuntun. So basically the government would come knocking on your door if you made any posts that were against the government.
Lies.
And if your neighbors outed you for being out protesting, you would be likely to be kidnapped and...
Let's listen to what she's saying if your neighbors outed you for out protesting. I spoke about this before. If your neighbors outed you for going to a protest that the CIA and the United States set up, you become a traitor to your country. Get it? Understanding this? Understanding this.
Sent to this torture center. In just the month of July 2024, 1,900 political prisoners were taken. Those numbers have gone up to over 3,000.
That I think is a lie. That I can verify.
And most of those being underage girls. Since 2014, there has been 17,888 politically motivated arrests in Venezuela. More than 8 million Venezuelans have fled the country. Our families are scattered across the world because we can't.
And while she may deliver some statistics that are true, she's not delivering the real reasons why. I noticed her little tears, the crocodile tears, where she wants to deliver her message with emotion.
And back in Venezuela,
Traitor to her freaking country.
That is tearing apart the Orinoco Delta, poisoning.
And she is most likely part of the elite class, part of the 1% that is actually inviting this nonsense. So pay attention to the host. You should be you shouldn't be upset with this lady here. She's just doing what she's paid for. But the focus on this is the person that is presenting this to you.
Rivers with mercury and displacing indigenous people, allowing miners to go into indigenous territories.
Yes, let's talk about that. Essequibo, the indigenous territory that she's talking about. The territory that Venezuela agreed to in 1969 that will be untouched, that is supposed to be untouched. The people that are going into the Essequibo and violating and doing all of this nonsense is who? Guyana. Right? So what is this woman talking about, and why is, once again, I want you to swing back to the presenter, to the host. Why is he presenting this video to the people of Trinidad and Tobago when he wants to when he chooses to educate you about what is happening in Venezuela? Why does he choose to present this video to you, Trinidad and Tobago?
Kidnapping and human trafficking indigenous women. So when you see Venezuelans expressing support for an invasion, please understand, no one wants to be invaded, especially not by a country with such a brutal, violent global history. The Venezuelans are
traitor to her country.
Our hope is real. But underneath that hope is fear, exhaustion, and deep sadness for having to survive this horrific, violent, corrupt dictatorship. So please give us some space to feel all these emotions. Venezuelans aren't dumb. We are hardworking people who just want the best, like everyone else, to live a normal life. Thanks for listening.
So when you listen to that, it might be heart-wrenching or whatever, but listen to the lies and focus on the lies underneath, and then go back to this demon that chooses to present that message to you. She's so hurt and emotional. She wants the United States to come save her because Venezuela is running out of options. Venezuela's economy this year is slated to grow 8%. How many countries on this planet have growth in the single percentage range? In this time, in this global economy that we have, what countries are actually growing? Venezuela is slated to grow almost 9%. So Venezuela got their shit in order. Venezuela is good. Venezuela is now self-sufficient. Venezuela is doing good without the United States. Okay? So now, when you have a host coming to the people of Trinidad and Tobago and trying to push this information out to you,
and they talk zone of peace,
especially if you're in the United States. Because this is something, if you're in the United States, I know it is very hard to get news on what's happening back home. Do not listen to these people. This is not a news source. I mean, you could go on there and get in a chat and talk shit and kick the willy bobo, but when it comes to actually reporting news, reporting accurate information, anything this host will say, and just look where I paused on the words, zone of peace, zone of peace. What does zone of peace mean? Did this host even take the time out of any his show to explain what that means? That the zone of peace is basically our area is not supposed to be a war zone?
Peace. Mayor Motley, Gonzales, Jamaica, all.
And he's talking about great leaders. Why is he? You know,
zone of peace, zone of peace, zone of peace.
Oh my God, this is so hard.
That feels
you demons have to pay.
Knows it. There's a bunch of Venezuelans across in Venezuela that is not in support of the invasion or a pending invasion or the U.S. doing anything in Venezuela, but they want Maduro gone. So therefore, they are in support of it, just because.
So then you should have, then if you wanted Maduro gone, then you should have gone to the elections and voted him out. Right? If you wanted Maduro gone, Venezuela had elections last year. You should have mobilized enough people on your side to go vote this man out. Why does the United States have to come in to fix your losing party's problems? You didn't have enough power to bring the people to your side. So now you want the United States to come in and invade your country, and this piece of shit, this political kobo, was sent out to misinform you. So he's lying to you about what's happening in Venezuela, so that you in Trinidad can support the position that your prime minister is taking against Venezuela. Up to this day, your prime minister can't admit that Maduro is the legitimate leader of Venezuela. Up to this day.
Across in Venezuela that is not in support of the invasion or a pending invasion or the U.S. doing anything in Venezuela, but they want Maduro gone. So therefore, they are in support of it, just because. Y'all understand?
Do you understand? Next up, ladies and gentlemen, the main round. Dun dun dun. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here. Alright, I'm being told I have to get off the live. My girlfriend is telling me that it's time to come to bed, and I need to stop doing this nonsense. So it's almost that time. No, I'm not hurting. I'm vengeful, Andy. So, Andy Williams, the #1 propagandist for the UNC in Trinidad and Tobago. A man who knows better, but still chooses to lie to the people. Ladies and gentlemen,
all I will start with is
he talking about me again. Why?
Again, don't forget, in every corner in the east.
Let's break it down, ladies and gentlemen. You all ready? I don't think you're all ready. Are you ready? So yes, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me? They can block me all they want. They can block me left, right, and center. But as long as they keep lying to the people of Trinidad and Tobago, I will always be there watching you, Andy. Andy, when you lie to the people, I'm going to tell the people that you're lying to them, Andy. And you wanna focus yourself, you wanna focus your program on United States viewers because they're stupid and they don't know what's going on in the country. You have people calling in and acting like fools on your program. It's almost so bad that right-thinking citizens, when they coming and listen to your show, they think, is this St. Anne's? Is this like St. Anne's recreation period where everybody get to call in on the ground report and just spill the shit that is brewing inside their heads for 5 minutes? And Andy, you have made your program into this latrine where you're nothing like Pastor Google. You're nothing like any of the other programs out there. You're nothing but Wig Belly Penny and all this nonsense. Instead of being a legitimate and honest newsman where you can actually grow your audience, because I know you've seen your audience dropping, and the more that I talk out against you, the more you will see your audience drop because you keep lying to the people. I want you to stop lying. I want you to be a better man, Andy.
In Central, in Mars, in
What's the
Jupiter,
desperation?
Everybody, from your grandchildren to your great-great-grandchildren to your great-greats, everybody within the PM and all that already knows and will be moving penny very soon. Remember it. Don't forget.
So once again, right? This is Monday morning. You all just went through a weekend of panic and shitting bricks. Where you had to pull your children out of school, where you had to rush to the grocery and fill up your cart and use your food card. Because it's the start of the month. The money fresh so you can go and shop, right? You had to do all of that. And instead of opening his radio program with a top news story with something with what's on your mind, he opens his program talking about Slimy and Wig Belly Penny, and to keep watching my show.
Let it, sing it, let it be the gospel throughout Trinidad and Tobago. Wig Belly Penny, Wig Belly Penny, Wig Belly Penny, Wig Belly Penny. She's a traitor to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. She's a traitor to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Speaking of traitors, as this is the main topic of the show, this is traitor number 2, okay? And on Lennox, like I said, we did an article that is available on the Workers' Right platform. Click the article, click the link in the chat. That should take you to the article that we did. Actually, I should be reading that to you. But before I do that, let me finish up this video and then I'll actually go to the article next.
And she should be.
I forgot about that, sorry.
Treason going against a government, a people. Because she had to suck up to Rowley, Stuart Young, Marvin Gonzalez, Dasby Dolly, and all of them, because they have something on her. She's not the opposition leader, she's too weak. The opposition in Trinidad and Tobago, they said Dr. Rowley, Stuart Young, Coleman Burt, and all them. Wig Belly Penny, Wig Belly Penny, Wig Belly Penny. Don't forget it at all.
Bang, 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 bang,
bang, bang. Wig Belly Penny.
I know it's sending some people mad.
It's sending him mad.
But I ain't gonna call the name.
Call my name, say my name, Andy.
I give him no life.
Say my name. Say my name, say my name.
before christening. Let them continue to listen.
Say my name, Andy.
Because them, let them continue listening to the ground report. Let that imps when she died. Not all of us.
Hi, Andy.
Program. Let's leave them there. They're calling people of Trinidad and Tobago stupid.
The people that listen to you.
Report program.
No, Andy. I'm not calling the people of Trinidad and Tobago stupid. I'm calling the people of Trinidad and Tobago that listen to you and still listen to this program stupid. After you made your switch, where you came from being oppositional to power, where you were fighting power, and now you are with power and their policies, that is when you became evil. Andy? Sorry, baby. I'm being told to stop yelling.
But them have to carry.
So you know what? I have to speak to you in a calm voice because I'm upsetting my girlfriend. So Andy, you piece of shit. Stop lying to the people. Stop giving misinformation to the people. If you want your audience to grow, if you want to be loved by the people instead of hated by a high percentage, stop lying to the people. Deliver accurate news. Start being oppositional to the government again, and you will see your numbers grow. Andy, people don't like to be lied to, Andy. Andy, people don't want to hear about Penny's weak belly when they were panicking and thinking about how they're going to die over the weekend. Soldiers that got called out to... Oh, please. Soldiers, police force, any members of the police force, please go to the Workers' Rights 868 website at workersright868.com/tips and leave me a tip on the instructions that you were given by the government. Why were you called out? Can you hear me? My date told me to stop shouting, so I have to speak to you in a calm voice. So go to the tips page on the Workers' Rights website and give me the tip on why the government called you out and what were the instructions they gave you when you arrived at 1800 hours. Right, that is what the people want to know, Andy. They want to know why, according to you, according to Kamala, the people want to know why the PNM called out and sent out that notice and panicked the whole population, right? Because the PNM has the power right now in Trinidad to send out a countrywide notice to all of its forces. Right? The PNM did that. That is what your Prime Minister is saying, Andy. Okay? So, people don't want to hear about weak belly Penny. The bots that you have on your Facebook chat, they want to hear about weak belly Penny. But the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago that turn to you as a reporter, like I once did. I used to think in my head that you were an actual journalist, Andy. What happened to you? What happened to Andy for Grandy? What happened to the Andy that was going out fighting for the people, that was going to fight for the squatters' rights and all of that stuff? What happened to that Andy? Why are we now seeing an Andy that instead of focusing on the stuff that matters to the people is worried about if Penny is doing sit-ups or not? Huh, Andy? And you know what, Andy? I wouldn't stop this. The more you keep lying to the people, is the bigger my channel will get. So if you actually started doing a program like me, where you were actually delivering actual news to the people, instead of just this political propaganda and nonsense and innuendo and distraction that you seem to engage in, maybe people will start loving you more and they will stop calling you faggot. They will stop calling you all these names that they're calling you, Andy.
Program. about the Ground Report program.
What's that mean?
That's the power of the Ground Report program.
I'm not shouting. You need me?
Bang, 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 bang.
It sends people mad. It make talkers talk show hosts or to be or trying to be. It are people who ain't living here.
No, Andy, I don't want to be a talk show host. I want you to be a talk show host, Andy. I want you to do your job, Andy, so that I don't have to do it, so I can get back to focusing on my job, Andy. My job is fixing computers, Andy, not sitting in front of a freaking camera drunk, cussing you out, Andy. I want to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and turn on the Ground Report and hear what is happening in the country. I don't want to be doing this shit, Andy. And yes, I do not know what I do not live in Trinidad, but I know more about what is happening with the people and everything than you. So when are you going to stop lying to the people, Andy? I'm being told to get off the live.
Kinds have come back here.
Yes, I can come back here.
Living in the basement.
I don't live in a basement,
and
Andy.
It's just a matter of time before Trump deport them right back here. I want to talk about the love Trinidad and Tobago. We'll come back here and live now.
That is the plan, Andy.
Come back here and contribute now.
That is the plan, Andy.
I stay here. Moonstar stay.
That is the plan, Andy. The plan. I can't shout. The plan is for me to come back, Andy. You'll be seeing me soon. Okay, Andy? I will be contributing more than you, Andy.
Stay here. Miss Roadbrook, stay here. Miss.
All these paid people that you pay to call in onto your show, to spew nonsense and propaganda, and you have people sounding so stupid on your program. It's like only a select few. I would keep saying it is like, I think St. Anne's have a recreation period between 6 and 10, and they put the Ground Report up on the TV for the St. Anne's people to watch. I think that is what is happening on your program, Andy, because it's nothing but stupid. And I'll have some examples of that in a few. I can't shout.
Many are we here.
My girlfriend is telling me that I have to get off the live and I have to stop doing this nonsense. But come on, Andy, stop doing this.
And who not here and out there fighting a better fight, fighting a good fight for their country. Because
and Andy, don't worry. Andy, I want you to do your job, Andy, so that I don't have to be up at 2 o'clock in the morning on a fucking stream. I want you to do your job, Andy. And you know what I'll do? I will get off the stream before you go live, so I don't have to cut into your viewers, because that is not my goal right now. My goal is to get you to focus on doing your job and to get you focused back on the needs of the people of Trinidad and Tobago, and to stop with the fucking propaganda, and to stop making people stupid, and to stop having them call into your program talking shit, and you let them talk this shit and you don't correct them. You have people calling into your program talking straight lies and you don't correct them. I want you to do a better job, Andy. I want you to be the #1 host and program, delivering truth to the people, Andy. That is why I used to tune into you when you were oppositional. But now that the party that you wanted is in power, is now you become nothing but a propagandist. And now that I look back at it, that's all you ever were. You were always in this for the money. And ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned in onto why the Workers' Right platform was hacked.
They love
That's a big story.
Trinidad and Tobago.
We're going to talk about that.
My foreign brothers and sisters.
Bang, 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 bang.
I don't know what the problem is with Renaissance, but I go talk about it. Renaissance is a true patriot, a true Trini, who has actual morals. And if you come to Renison with a bullshit deal, with a corrupt deal, with he will say no. I will say Renison is an honest, true patriot, a real honest man. And Andy, you stabbed this man in the back. Let's talk about the hack of the workers' right platform. All you want to talk about that? Because there was a time, what was it, a month and a half ago, where Renison lost access to his program because we used to stream your program, Andy. We used to remember the Workers' Right 868 platform used to stream your dog shit program. And give me a second, baby. Let me finish with this. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? My date is my girlfriend is telling me to get off the live. What should I do? Do I continue stinking up this propagandas? Because I have more to show you all guys. Huh? Or do I go take care of the needs of my woman? Because it is almost 5 o'clock in the morning, you know? It's that time in the morning. But instead I'm up here trying to teach the people of Trinidad and Tobago to be smarter. Oh, that music just got ticked off at the right time. What fucking amazing timing, man. Let's finish this up.
Through the nook and cranny of the globe, whether in the Caribbean, South America, North America, Canada, Europe, Austria, Australia.
Andy, stop lying to the people. You don't have those kind of numbers. Right? Now that the Workers' Right 868 platform is monetized, our numbers really matter. And you know what, Andy? Stop lying to the people that people from from all these places watching you. Stop lying, Andy.
Japan, South Africa, in Africa, the African continent, wherever you Trinidadians that have ties with a new country, we know you all really be string very right here. We know you all love your own country. It have one dirty individual that living out there that don't like here at all.
I love you guys. That's a lie. I love you guys.
All my foreign-based callers, viewers, listeners, spread throughout anywhere you meet at Trinidadian. One of our very own. The only program to look onto on a morning in Trinidad and Tobago when they want to be reliably informed.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be reliably informed about the strength of Penny Beckles' belly, tune into this program. This is the program for you if you care about Penny Beckles.
When they want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. When they want true patriots.
Patriots, he say. Is this the patriot people?
When they want true fighters.
Andy, let's talk about fighters for a second, shall we, Andy? Let me talk about fighters. Because there was once upon a time, there used to be the slogan, Andy for Grandy. Well, you remember that? Well, you remember Andy for Grandy? Andy was running, or he was auditioning to be the representative to represent.
When they want to know
to represent Sandy Grandy. Remember that earlier? Let's pull this side up. All you remember when Andy used to be a good guy? Huh? When Andy was actually for the people and he was trying to serve the people. All you remember that? AndyForGrandy.com. He even had a website. What happened to this man here? Olia. Olia. What happened to that man? Huh? I forget what I was going to say. But how did that man turn into this? I want you to do your job, Andy. I want that old Andy back. The one who was actually fighting for the people. Who was actually questioning power, challenging power. That man, I want him back. I don't want this piece of shit. Weak. You're not strong in any way. Oh, I remember what I was saying now. Yeah. We was talking about your strength. Cause I supported you. I supported you, Andy. I supported you, Andy, when you were running for your grandy seat. Right? When they picked Wayne Sturge to run for Sandy Grande, I told you to fight. I told you, Andy, that seat in Grande is yours. Because this slogan you have in the people fucking head, Andy for Grande, Andy for Grande. You piece of shit, could have been the representative for Grande if you had chosen to fight. If you had gone independent, like I had suggested, the people would have seen the balls in you. And you would have been sitting in Parliament right now if you were strong. If you had some backbone. Andy, you're not Andy for Grande no more. So I don't want to hear nobody say that shit fucking ever. You scumbag sellout piece of shit. You are weak. I told you to fight. I told you after I built this fucking website for you that we could turn this into a media machine, that we can organize all of the people of Grande onto that website and have them rally for you. And if you had fought, you would have won. But instead now, you have Wayne Sturge. And look at what this fucking man is doing. So yeah, I'm vexed with you, Andy. You are not strong. You are not a man of integrity. And let's not, I don't want to talk about integrity and then talk about workers' right platform getting hacked. Andy, you are not a man of integrity. You weak freaking potong.
That pretended
keep calling my name in your freaking mouth. You weak man, keep blocking me, Andy. The more you freaking block me, the more I will talk out against you. Because that's actually why I spoke about the other presenter before. Because I went into his chat and I was chatting in his chat and he had the nerve to block me. So that's why I featured him. Alright? So keep blocking me. The more you block me, you little bitch, the more I will keep talking out against you. You had something good. You could have been leading Sandy Grande right now. You weak piece of shit. You fucking prostitute. You weak shell of a man. I am so angry when Alright, I gotta get off this live.
From the time that person could be supporting the PNM and weak belly penny, that says it all. While all of us fight for years to save Trinidad and Tobago, and today Trinidad and Tobago in good hands. That imps that will eventually Donald Trump will pull them out of his basement. That's come.
He must think I like living in this fucking country that is committing a genocide, that is murdering babies on a daily basis. He must think I wake up comfortable in this country.
And with that name, that all I see I'm not calling, never, ever, ever to be called on this program. We are not to give that scum no life.
Stop using my words, Andy.
Oh, 007, you want to know? We can't call the name again. That's it. We're not calling the name no more on this program. All I will say, slime. And after today, I will never say slime again.
Keep my name out your mouth, Andy. Doesn't he look... Guys, look at his body language. Look at his body language. Doesn't he look bothered? Doesn't he look frustrated? Doesn't he look angry? But Andy, if you wasn't lying to the people, I would not be here. If you wasn't lying to the people, Andy, I would be tuning into your program in an hour from now. Andy, if you wasn't lying, if you didn't turn yourself into a propagandist, I would not be here, Andy. Andy, I would not be here if you didn't hack into the Workers' Right platform, Andy. Why did you try to steal the password for the Workers' Right platform, Andy? Why did you cheat Renaissance of money, Andy? Huh? And Renaissance doesn't have the balls. No, let me not say that. Let me not say that. Renaissance is a great man, a great patriot, and a better man than me, a stronger man than me. Okay? So Andy, my shout out to you is to stop making people of the Trinidad and Tobago stupid. Alright? And let me give it, I don't want to continue with this nonsense, this diatribe you're doing. I'm getting frustrated now with this whole shit, and my girlfriend is telling me to stop this freaking live because she wants to see me. She wants to enjoy my company. Right? So I'm going to end the live with this last video because I have to go. It is 4 o'clock. It is 5 o'clock in the morning, and Andy, he's about to start his show. So I'm going to give him the way and not try to dig into his viewership. So let's end this on this video.
Right, plenty better.
And this right here, let me take off this video in the back. Let me take off this noise in the background. I want you guys to listen to this audio carefully. And Andy, this is what you encourage on your program. Stop encouraging this kind of stupidness on your program. Stop having people call into your program sounding this stupid, because the more you have them sounding stupid, the more I will highlight them. You are giving me content to laugh at, because everybody that watches is now going to laugh at you. Alright, so I encourage you to start to make a better program in the morning for people to listen to. Okay? What is this? Wrong slide.
Good morning again, my brother.
Right, plenty better. Go ahead, my brother.
Right. Lennox Smith, pleasant good morning to you, West Surveyors, and Trinidad and Tobago, pleasant good morning to everyone. Now, Andy,
good morning.
Last week supposed to go down in history in Trinidad and Tobago, because
it is
first time I see in the history of Trinidad and Tobago where it's being run by we have a democratic process.
What?
In Trinidad and Tobago, Andy. And it hurt me as a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago to see that people in Trinidad and Tobago pick people to put them in the big house. The big house is Parliament, Andy. The big house is the Red House. And people pick people, Kitty on the PNM side or the UNC side. And as a result of that, Andy, Miss Penelope Beckles, who is the opposition leader, Andy, that move that lady made there, right? Seeing the situation that Trinidad and Tobago is in at present because of her former leader, have us in this situation by opening the doors, by have the borders of Trinidad and Tobago unprotected so people could come freely into Trinidad and Tobago. And then now, because an elected Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar, take the reign and taking certain stands, right? And standing up for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And this woman, as a leader, gone.
Andy, stop having people call into your freaking program and having them song this stupid. And here's a thought. Here's something that stupid Slimy would do if I was in government. If Trinidad have a problem with its borders, right? Why not create employment off of that problem? Why not hire some Trinis to go patrol those borders? Why invite a United States warship? Why invite a United States aircraft carrier to come to patrol your borders? Stop having people song this fucking stupid on your radio program, Andy Williams.
And affiliating herself with, it appears to me, and I will say it as it is, with the enemy. Because number one, Ms. Kamala Persad-Bissessar never started this situation. This situation was started after she took office. Maduro, due to his links in Trinidad and Tobago, and due to they wanted to disrupt the administration, they wanted to destabilize the administration, Mr. Maduro, he ended up making certain statements. And this get out of hand that America had to come down to deal with his matter. Trinidad and Venezuela have nothing. It's Venezuela and America what had a problem. But due to the good governance of this woman, the good leadership of this woman, and Mr. Donald Trump, they merged together to solve certain things in the Caribbean to protect the people of the Caribbean, Andy Williams. And in China, if Penelope Beckles was in China, they proceed before a fine court. If she was in Russia, they hang her. But in Trinidad and Tobago, Andy, people just give her anything.
Russia and China wouldn't be doing some dumb shit in the first frickin' place, you daughter scholar. Andy, stop having people call into your program and spew this nonsense over their ear without you frickin' correcting them, you disgusting human. Welcome, warrior. Yeah, I know I don't need this man, but something has to be done about these propagandists. Okay? Stop having people call into your program song and so stupid.
Imagine before the election, Andy, a man was tied shut and they hold him and they put him before the court, Andy. But you as an elected opposition leader, representing people in Trinidad and Tobago, and make a decision like that, Andy. What that show? Dr. F. Williams, the same founder of the PNM party, banned a man, Stokey Michael from Trinidad and Tobago, for that same deceitful thing. So what does Trinidad and Tobago now going and do to Miss Penelope Beckles? And they're talking about the Gog Report, and all they're talking about Carnage, and talking about Andy Williams, and talking about them, all they feel is stupid. Andy, I looked on and I listened, and I want to hear what the people of Trinidad and Tobago have to say about that, Andy. The ship gone, Andy, no war. As the ship gone, you know what they do? They start about the army. They call in the army base. Only a set of fake news. Only a set of disrupting thing to destabilize the Honorable Prime Minister government. Andy, I looked on and listened, brother. Looked on.
The Ground Report with Mikey K, Andy Williams, and Lennox Smith.
Good morning, Ground Report. Andy Williams, Lennox Smith. Good morning to the Ground Report listeners. You know, this morning my front burner is what took place on Friday afternoon. I find that is so disgusting, that, you know, these people, they lost the election fair and square. And like they just want to create melee in this country. Look at what happened Friday. People scampering, people running in gas station to full. I mean, I was out there just...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That caller was actually supposed to go on longer. Okay, I'm back. So, once again, Andy Williams. Listen to me and listen to me carefully. Alright? Stop lying to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. If you want to present yourself to the people, be like Kejan Hayes. Be like him. Notice Kejan is always against power. He's always in opposition to the government. Be like that, Andy. That is the job of a reporter. That is what you're supposed to do as a media personality. Alright? Your numbers will go up. I promise you. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. I'm being yelled at in the background. My girlfriend is telling me I have to get off this freaking live. She needs my company, if you know what I mean. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. As usual, I would like to end the stream on a positive note, on a positive message. So you can follow the Workers' Right platform at Workers' Right 868. We are broadcasting to you on Facebook, on YouTube. 2 platforms on YouTube, the Workers' Right 868 platform on YouTube, and the Slimy Show on YouTube at the Slimy Show. Alright, we're now teamed up. We intend to become a powerhouse. We intend to become the #1 news reporting show in Trinidad. You see my tie here? I'm all official for you, Trinidad and Tobago. Alright? So we're not in military mode anymore. We're in news reporting mode. And so once again, follow the Slimy Show. If you like my content, tell your friend who will then tell a friend who then tells another friend to follow the Slimy Show. Follow the Workers' Right platform. Follow us on the Workers' Right website, workersright868.com. Follow us on X. Follow us on Twitch. We're now streaming on Twitch. Yes, we're on Twitch. We're on Facebook, and we're also on Twitter. That's it. So, guys, it's been great. I have to go. I would like to continue, but I would like to cede the lead to Andy, and let's see if he adjusts his program, and if he thinks, Andy, you know you have free reign in this chat, right? I will never block you, sir. Lennox Williams, if you come into my chat, I will never block you, sir, because your speech is supposed to challenge mine. That is what politics is about. We're supposed to challenge each other intellectually. That is what democracy is about. We're supposed to challenge each other with our words. If you cannot challenge me with your words, if you choose to block people in your chat, you create what is called a fucking what's that circle called? I forget the word. I'm not Lennox Smith. I can just make up words at the top of my head. Not yet. But Andy, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. The people will love you more. I will love you more. And all the fans that you lost over the past few months, you will get them back. Start reporting true and accurate news to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. That is my message to you. And if you mention my name in your fucking program again, I will be back. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for viewing the Slimy Show. I appreciate I hope you learned something today. Today we spoke about traitors. We spoke about Venezuela. And we spoke about Trump looks like he's backing down from this whole situation with Venezuela. When I come, I'll try to come back on live later on today, and we will talk about the ramifications that Kamala Persad got Trinidad and Tobago into. I can't go into it right now because, like I said, I have to leave. My girlfriend is telling me to get the fuck off this live. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, we end the live with this energy. I love you, Trinidad and Tobago. Be safe.
Fuck Israel all day, every day. Fuck Israel till my last breath. Fuck Israel till I'm in jail or I get shot. Fuck Israel. Fuck Zionism. Fuck you and fuck you. Fuck Israel. That's it, man. Fuck you. You colonial fucking settlers. Go fuck off back wherever you came from. You murdering psychopath colonizer motherfuckers. Fuck you. Fuck Israel. You will never accept Israel. Fuck you till the end of days. Fuck you. I have a platform and I'm going to yell it as loud as possible. Fuck Israel. Fuck you. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Good night.